Hello, I'm going to review what's a sentence fragment and what's a complete sentence and do some of the practice problems on IXL. So hopefully you can also be successful, so follow along with me if this is something you've been having trouble with. All right, so just as a quick point of review, well, all of the videos that we've watched so far say, but as a point of reminder, a sentence takes a subject and a predicate. And by predicate, what we mean is basically a verb phrase. So the verb and whatever words happen to go with the verb. And so you have to have both who's doing the action and what they are doing in order to have a sentence. In addition, so that's rule 1, is that you have to have a subject and a predicate, and rule 2 is that it needs to be a complete thought. And you actually can have a sentence that has a subject and a predicate, but is not a complete thought. For example, I was going to the store when. Well, when what? That I was going to the store would be a full sentence, but I was going to the store when is opening up the door for another idea. And so it's leading me to believe that the thought isn't over yet. So let's just jump into IXL and take a look at some of the examples. So here's an example from IXL. It says, which is a sentence fragment? Runs with her friends or Tom plays with the dolls. So it's asking, what is the fragment? So which one of these two is the incomplete sentence? Is it runs with her friends or Tom plays with the dolls? I'm going to say it's this first one, runs with her friends. And the reason why is because it doesn't have a subject. It says runs, but who runs? It says her friends, so we're guessing that it's probably she, but we don't actually have that subject. We need the she runs with her friends for it to be, to follow this first rule, to have a subject and a predicate. So this one is the sentence fragment. So I'm going to say this one, sentence fragment. Okay, so now this question is asking me which one is a complete sentence. So which one of these is a complete sentence? Likes to play inside, or the bird was brown and black. So this one, just like the other one, this first example, it doesn't have a subject. Who likes to play inside? We have a verb, but we don't have a subject, so it's not a complete sentence. And this one, the directions say to choose the complete sentence, so we know it's going to be the other one. Let's just check to make sure. It says the bird was brown and black. The bird is the subject, and was brown and black is going to be the predicate, and of the predicate was is the verb. Okay. So I'm going to choose that second one. Awesome. All right, this one says, which is a complete sentence? 2 books are in the box, or Wendy and Alan's pet turtle. So this first one, it says 2 books, that's our subject. Are, that's a verb, in the box. So that whole thing is our predicate. So that one has a subject and a verb, has a predicate, and it's a complete thought. 2 books are in the box, period. This second one says Wendy and Alan's pet turtle. So even though that's a really long subject, it doesn't actually have a verb. That's all the subject. All we've identified is that thing, the turtle. We don't know what that turtle's doing. So this one is not a complete sentence. So I'm going to choose the first one, which is a complete sentence, number 1. All right, and this next example, it says, is this a sentence fragment? Many people wait at the station for the train. So do we have a subject? We have many people is a subject, and then wait at the station for the train. So they're waiting, so that's a verb. So we've got a subject and a verb. Many people wait at the station for the train. Sounds like a full sentence to me. So I'm going to say no. Is this a sentence fragment? No, it's a full sentence. All right. How about this? Is this a sentence fragment? Wrote his name on the lined paper. So we've got a verb for sure. That's wrote. But who wrote? We don't actually have a subject. We can make some assumptions because it says his name, but we don't have a subject. So the answer is actually, is this a sentence fragment? Yeah, it is. All right, one last example, and then I will leave you to it on your own, which is a sentence fragment. A black cat in the window, a black and white cat in the window, excuse me, or Grandpa Barton throws the ball to Lily. So let's take a look. A black cat and white cat in the window. So we've got a subject, black and white cat, and we know where the subject is, which is something we're going to call a prepositional phrase. So we know a subject and we've got a prepositional phrase, but we don't have a verb. We don't know what the cat is doing. We could say a black and white cat is sitting in the window, or is waiting in the window, or is watching from the window. But without that verb, it's just a sentence fragment. So that's actually going to be our answer because it's not a complete sentence. But let's just take a look at this one too. It says Grandpa Barton throws the ball to Lily. Grandpa Barton is the subject. Throws the ball is the verb or the predicate, and throws is specifically is the verb. So that is a complete sentence. Sentence fragment is the first one. All right, now it's your turn, and just remember our two rules, which are that it has to have a subject and a predicate, which includes a verb, and that it must be a complete thought.